Have you seen the movie Saturday Night Fever?
Yeah, I've seen it. Actually, I saw it 3 times.
Oh, so you like disco dancing?
Oh, God. Well, I like drunk dancing.
Oh, so if I make you a drink, you come into my room and hustle with me? I need a partner for my dance class.
I mean, if you fix me a drink, I'll come in and clean your bathroom.
Annette was attached to this project very, very early on. For an actor, you know, playing someone who essentially, you know, falls in love with, is starstruck by and falls in love with a beautiful movie star, can't be difficult. There can't be a stretch there with Annette Bening.
Well, yeah, but she tamed Warren Beatty. And then I'm like, what am I doing? It's ridiculous. But I was terrified. My people were like, you know, they sent me the script and they said, this is a great challenge for you. Go work with a fantastic actress. It's you and her. And it's a real test of your ability. And I was like, this is a terrible idea. It's the worst idea ever. But she's so gracious. And there's so many scenes in the film that obviously are intimate. It's a very kind of intimate love story at times. And for that, you really need a good sense of trust and sense of support with the actor that you're working with. And I think we established that very quickly and very easily. So.
Tell me about how this project entered your life, because, you know, watching the film for the first time, it's kind of hard to believe it's true that it happened like that.
I didn't think it was a real story. I thought it was a bizarre piece of fiction when I read the script, and such a bizarre idea for a film. Barbara Broccoli, who the famed movie producer of all the Bond films, etc., she knew Peter Turner and Gloria Graham when they were together. And this is a passion project for her. She's been wanting to make this film for 20-something years. She had Annette a long time ago involved with it. It just kind of never came about. I got sent the script. And once I knew that it was based on this real guy's story, this real experience, suddenly everything came much more clearer into focus for me. You know, it's a very pure story. This is set in a time when Google didn't exist, IMDb didn't exist. You can see there he has no idea she's a movie star. He has no idea that she won an Oscar. And there's something pure about that. I don't think we get to see that as often anymore.
Gloria is no longer with us, but Peter is.
Yes.
Did you meet with him? Did you work with him?
I met with him many times. I think when you play someone who is still with us and has a fantastic story to share, you want to talk to them as much as you can and get to know as much about them and about their experience that you're trying to represent as much as you can. You also don't want to disappoint them. You know, and what the biggest takeaway from him, and he was very generous with his time, and the most gracious thing he did, I think, was to step away and allow me and Annette the kind of authorship over his life in some ways. You know, it was a very gracious act that he did for us. He's a lovely man. I can see why someone from Hollywood and who'd had that life would fall in love with him, because he's just a pure person. He says yes to all, as you can see, he says yes to kind of any and all experience, you know. And I think towards the end of her life, she really wanted a family around her who just loved her unconditionally and would take care of her, and he provided that for her.
Because the way this film is directed, there's a kind of a dreamlike quality to it. There's a, you know, it feels like classic Hollywood. It feels like a memory sometimes. Tell me about working with him and what he brought to the film.
Well, I mean, the film does deal a lot with memories and dreams, and how memories sometimes kind of can't be trusted because they're only from your point of view, and that isn't necessarily the whole story, especially when it's a relationship between two people. So we really use that. We see a lot of stuff from one side, from my point of view, and a lot of it is played through Peter's eyes, but then there's some significant parts of the film which you get to see through her eyes and how she experiences it very differently. We use a lot of back projection for the movie to kind of bring in some of that old kind of movie thing and have that. We actually had the biggest back projection of all time on this movie.
Wow.
It's in the Guinness Book of Records. It's true. So yeah, like the use of physical sets move, and I'll leave this small terraced house in Liverpool and walk into LAX terminal, and you know we recreated Malibu Beach in London on a stage in Pinewood. So there's a lot of like movie magic in it as well. Yeah.